Hey there, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ian, known as WanderBeard around these parts. And in today's video, this is the first of some recaps for 2025. As you know, if you've been following my channel, 2025 has been an amazing year. I have been able to travel through 7 countries this year: Mexico, Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica. And I'm very excited to show you some recaps of some of those adventures. So how these are going to work is that depending on how many stops I had in each country, these will either be a top 5 or a top 10 of the experiences I had in each country. That might mean a place, that might mean an event, that could mean something special that I saw, anything at all, just my personal reflection on my past year and some of the best moments of the past 12 months. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the top 5 moments I had in the remaining stops I had in Mexico. So in 2025, I initially returned after a break during Christmas to go visit my family, came back to Playa del Carmen, and picked up basically exactly where I left off in 2024. That meant going to Cozumel, going to Tulum, and going to Bacalar. Those were my 3 final stops in the country of Mexico before finally exiting and continuing on to Belize. If you've been following my channel, you know that I spent a grand total of over 5 months in Mexico between 2024 and 2025. I made over 25 different stops across the country, starting in Tijuana and ending down in Bacalar. So these last 3 stops were pretty amazing. I had some really great experiences, and I'm very excited to show them to you today. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do that now. I always appreciate my subscribers. I recently passed 30,000 subscribers as I record this, which is beyond anything I could have ever expected. So thank you very much. I always appreciate the support. So without further ado, let's begin our Mexico top 5 of 2025. So in the number 5 position, we have the Fort of San Felipe in Bacalar. This was a really cool standard style fortress that was used with so much history, and I was really excited to check it out in Bacalar. Beautiful spot overlooking the lagoon. Here's a few clips from that experience. Just a quick shot here. You can see the moat that was built all the way around the fortress. Pretty standard style here with these abutments with cannons and a bird in the cannon. But this is kind of a nice higher up perspective. Oh, there's a friend who's leaving me. That's all right. So this is one of the look-off points, and there's a couple towers here as well, but you can see the lagoon here. So it's a pretty standard layout, I would say, for these types of fortresses. It's interesting because it sort of reminds me of a smaller version of the Citadel in Halifax, my hometown, and similar with the spiky corners. There's probably a technical term for it other than the spiky corners, but that's what I'm going to call it for now. But here it actually talks about how the fortress was started, its construction in 1733, and the reason why was to actually prevent pirates and smugglers from stealing not gold, not silver, but the wood here in Campeche. At its height, this building had 24 cannons on it, poised around the perimeter to prevent any kind of invasion. So this is the layout of the whole fortress. So the points are not the pointy things, they are baluards. And then there was a watchtower in the middle. And then the bridge was originally a drawbridge made of wood that could be raised, so it was the only point of access into the fortress here. There's this mural here on the side of the wall, which appears to be like a historical battle between the Spaniards and the locals. And of course, like everything else in the Caribbean, piracy was a big part of this area. starting, around the 16th century. And it's interesting seeing some of the names that are here because they are almost revered in other parts of the world. People like Francis Drake, John Hawkins, Mary Read. Those are some people who are, in Europe and other parts of North America and Canada or the US. Some of those people are quite famous, almost looked upon as heroes, whereas here they were seen as pirates coming to try and plunder the city and raise the towns and do whatever they could to, make a small fortune off the backs of those who were already living here. The Bacalar oasis area here with the lagoon and stuff appears isolated from the ocean. However, it was saying in there during the rainy season it actually floods enough that you could get small boats from the ocean into here. And here again, just another vantage point from the lagoon. And you see there's the park that's here that we walked through earlier continues down through. There's like almost like a theater in the round here. And of course the Bacalar city sign is there if you want to take your picture with it. In the number 4 spot, we have the Casa Mission restaurant in Cozumel. I actually found this place just mostly by accident. It was a really amazing, special brunch place that I went to when I was in Cozumel, just a few blocks from where I was staying. It was up away from the tourist district, so it was mostly locals in the restaurant, and it was a wonderful experience with beautiful gardens. Let's have a look. So I'm just on my phone, but I wanted to shoot a quick video about this restaurant. I was just at here in Cozumel. This is La Casa Mission restaurant, and yeah, I would definitely recommend it. There's a really nice breakfast here until noontime. It was 139 pesos total, and it gave you the choice of about 10 to 15 different dishes. It came with orange juice and unlimited coffee, and yeah, it's fantastic. Looks like it's a very popular place on the weekends for brunch. I'm here on a Sunday and it is packed, so definitely recommend if you're looking for a place here in Cozumel that's nice but away from the tourist zone a little bit. This is up past Avenue 45, but you can find it on the Google map if you just look for it. I've got some extra pictures here as well, which I'll show of the omelet that I had and the menu, and a couple of pictures from the area. In the number 3 spot, I have a very special moment where I was at the Casa de la Cultura in Bacalar, and I got to meet the local artist José Montalvo Llama, and he was a artist of the region who did a lot of focus on the history of Bacalar and the Maya and everything in that region. He presented to me a painting that he was very proud of and was beautiful to look at and to listen to his story, and it's one of these little moments that I really love when I'm traveling. Let's have a quick look. We're at the Casa de la Cultura, and this is a great spot to come and check out some of the history of the area. There's an art exhibit inside, and the best part is, it's free.
Este mini mural representa lo que es la creación de nuestro estado de Quintana Roo, dentro del marco de los 50 años de la creación. Su amigo José Montalvo Llama, artista plástico de Bacalar. Aquí doy a conocer lo que es las 3 etapas de la historia de Bacalar, desde la llegada de los mayas prehispánicos, que le ponen por nombre a este lugar Ciancán Bacalar, que significa donde nace el cielo, rodeado de carrizos. Posteriormente a la llegada de los mayas prehispánicos, llegan los españoles para la conquista española, y se da lo que es el tráfico de la madera, conocido como palo de tinte. Empieza el tráfico de esta madera hacia Europa en embarcaciones pequeñas para transportarlos en galeones pesados que se iban a otros continentes. Esto llega a oídos de los piratas, y los piratas llegan a Bacalar a robarse el palo de tinte a los españoles, que en ese entonces Bacalar no era Bacalar, sino que era la villa de Salamanca. Cuando los piratas llegan y atacan Bacalar, se construye el fuerte de San Felipe para defender la villa de Bacalar contra el ataque de piratas. Acabándose la piratería, con los españoles surge lo que es el mestizaje, la relación que hay entre mayas, españoles, y se da el mestizaje. Y en 1847, por esas fechas, los españoles tenían como esclavos a los mayas. Los obligaban a trabajar duramente, sin pago, endeudándose, aprovechándose de la situación de los mayas. Eran oprimidos en cuestiones laborales. Y entonces lo que hacen los mayas, se levantan en guerra en 1847, una guerra llamada Guerra de Castas, y esa guerra dura 50 años, una guerra que dura 50 años. Entonces, ese movimiento entre mayas y españoles, se da una lucha, un movimiento social que acaba con la opresión y los mayas logran su autonomía. También aquí represento lo que es la ceiba. La ceiba, conocido como el árbol sagrado de los mayas, que representa los tres niveles del cosmos. Lo que es el inframundo, que son las raíces que conectan hasta la parte del inframundo, la parte más oscura donde los mayas son transportados. Y la parte de arriba se considera como la tierra donde estamos los vivos. Y la parte de las ramas representan el cosmos. En la cultura maya, hoy en día, en los altares, se representan los tres niveles a través de un altar de muertos. El primer nivel, productos que vienen debajo de la tierra, como el camote, la jícama, va en el primer nivel, que representa el inframundo. En el segundo nivel se ponen ofrendas como la naranja, o productos que se obtienen sobre de la tierra. Puede ser los tamales y cosas que uno prepara. Y en el tercer nivel se ponen los santos, se pone la cruz y se pone la fotografía del difunto que ya no está. Eso es lo que representa este pequeño mural, y es un homenaje a la creación de los 50 años del Estado, cuando antes la ciudad de Chetumal, capital del Estado, había construcciones de estilo inglés, el Caribe, el faro, como vigía, ¿no?, de los pescadores que navegan en el Caribe, en el mar. Y con esto viene también la choza maya, la choza que ocuparon los mayas. Pero es una mezcla de ambas culturas, tradiciones, y en sí también tenemos aquí la laguna de Bacalar, tenemos lo que es el manglar que nutre la laguna, y en el fondo del mural también tenemos los ojos de un jaguar, que son los guardianes de la selva, conocidos como los balam, que son los que cuidan la selva la selva maya. Y así es como represento este mural. En las nubes podemos ver perfiles mayas, como el pacal, que solamente utilizando el pincel, estas figuras se fueron dando por sí solas, sin necesidad de crearlas. No fue con intención, sino fue solamente pintar las nubes nos dio este resultado, ¿no? Y que en las nubes se ven las imágenes del perfil maya. Y así es como toda la obra que tenemos aquí, que son aproximadamente 22 obras que están representando parte del litoral, parte de la laguna, los manglares, los cenotes, los estromatolitos, el carrizo y todo lo que tiene que ver con la belleza natural de nuestro estado y sobre todo de Bacalar, Quintana Roo. Bienvenidos a esta sala de la Casa de la Cultura de Bacalar.
Muchas gracias.
Por nada, por servirle.
Number 2 is the Tulum ruins in Tulum, Mexico. So I had personal issues with some of the experience with the Tulum ruins. It felt very Disneyfied, I guess is the best way to put it. Everything was kind of at a distance. There was lots of things that were roped off. It was very busy and very touristy and very expensive, to be totally honest. I thought that, of all the ruins that I'd seen in Mexico between 2024 and 2025, Tulum were some of the nicest looking, but it felt like the most impersonal of all of the experiences. So, having said that, they are a very special place that are definitely worth seeing Just keep in mind that it is not, in my opinion, the true experience of seeing ruins in Mexico. Same as my opinion, I suppose, with Chichen Itza. I found the same sort of experience there, at least the initial part of it, where it was so busy and so crowded with tourists, and I just didn't have a very good time with it. So let's have a look at the Tulum ruins, because they are special and very, very beautiful. And this was the Casa del Cenote. So you can see inside the building there on the backside, there's actually a set of stairs that go down, and they would have led you down to the underground cenote that was within this building's grounds. So it's in kind of a cool spot here because it's overlooking a lot of the rest of the area, which is kind of nice. And then up here on the top of the hill, where it is the windiest of all, of course, is the Temple of the God of Wind, which is probably one of the most famous ruins here. You see it in a lot of photographs. It's interesting here at Tulum, one thing that I've noticed is that we are spaced much farther back from the ruins than at other sites that I've been to. So here at Tulum, this is the largest temple, known as El Castillo. It's a huge complex. You can see that there's a main building at the top of the stairs there. Some offshoot buildings on both the left and the right. But much like Chichen Itza and other sites, El Castillo was sort of the prominent or most prominent building in the city. So we made our way up to the backside of El Castillo, which you can see why this place was chosen. It is probably at least a couple hundred feet straight down from here, so it's like 60-70 meters. And you can also see why it's important to keep ahead of the tour groups, because they pack in fast. What a beautiful spot here though, just up on the hill, and just incredible sights. So this grounds here may not look like much, but it was the site where in 1847 an armed uprising against the Spanish started, called the Castes War. So obviously Spanish culture had a caste system, so people would be divided based on their, level or rank within society, and that kind of contradicted a lot of the ways that the Mayan society was run and had been run for hundreds of years. This building here is one of the most significant ones here at Tulum. This is what's known as the Temple of the Frescoes, and the lower level of this building, we're going to take a walk around there in a second as well, has a mural painting on the inside that I believe you can still see bits and pieces of. They're obviously doing some restoration here. You can see trying to retain some of the walls from, there's some cracks and stuff starting to form, so they're trying to support that as best as possible. The top half, however, of the building is what's really interesting, because if you look closely, and I'm actually going to zoom into this because it's pretty cool, is that there's actually handprints in red ink on the side of the building up there, and then down here right above these openings as well. And you can see there's some very intricate mask carvings along the center line here of the building too. This high priest home is very well preserved, all things considered. You can actually see, and I'll get a close-up picture of it as well, there's actually a really cool carving right at the top of the entryway underneath that thatched roof, which had a mask on it, which was a symbol of the high priest here in Tulum. So when we came in earlier, we went immediately over to the left up to the House of the Cenotes, which is up on the top of the hill there. and then we worked our way around the backside and come around the front, which seems to have worked out all right. If you get here early enough, you can kind of come and go the opposite direction a little bit, and you get the first half of the park without too many crowds. But at this point, it's like I said, it's now almost 10:30, and it's shoulder to shoulder. Great spot, beautiful buildings. A little disappointed, to be honest, how far away you are able to get to some of the buildings. Everything feels very Disneyfied, for lack of a better term. And in the number one spot, should be no surprise, it was the Lagoon of Seven Colors in Bacalar. Truly a magical place that everybody needs to see at one point in their lives. It was just astounding just to be in that area, to look at the lagoon that was there and the beautiful colors of the water and all of the environment around it. I actually went down there twice myself. Both times I went sort of to the local way, I guess. I walked down, paid my 20 peso admittance fee, got my bracelet, went in and just spent time there, just enjoying and absorbing everything that was around the area. And it was truly magical, and to me was the number one place of the 3 stops that I had in Mexico in 2025. Let's have a look. You can see the signs here for it, but the entrance is just down here. So we're just here at the entryway to the Eco Park, and it is 20 pesos to get in, which was very reasonable. And despite the overcast day here, it is still a very remarkable view. It was interesting saying that there's a sign there warning you about if you see crocodiles to please report them. I think that would be, I think that would definitely happen if I was to see a crocodile. I would definitely want to let somebody know. Be careful of when you're here is to make sure you hold on to your phone real tight. Fall through there real easy, and I don't think you really want that to happen. So I definitely recommend, if you're coming to Bacalar, to come down here and check out this amazing place. This lagoon is stunning, for lack of a better term, and even today on a windy, cooler day, it's still just magnificent. The color of the water and everything. Like I said, it was 20 pesos to get in if you just want to kind of come in and wander around or go for a swim or whatever. There's lots of tour groups and companies here offering for boats to go out on the lagoon. If you want to do that as well, there's lots of different options, and you should have no problem finding someone to arrange that. But just a breathtaking spot. So I can't recommend it enough, especially if you're this far into the Mayan Riviera already. It only makes sense to come down to Bacalar and finish off the route. And there you have it. My top 5 places of Mexico in 2025. It was a pretty short list, I suppose, because I only had 3 stops left in the country at the time. But to me, they were 3 fantastic stops, 3 fantastic places, and I'm really glad that I took the time to see them all. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please leave a comment below if you think there are other places in those 3 cities that I missed that should be on a top 5. Thank you so much for watching, as always. If you'd like to support me further, there's a few different ways you can do that. I have memberships set up through here on YouTube. The cheapest one starting at just $3 Canadian per month, which is like $2 US. And there's 2 other tiers above that. If you'd like to support me one time, there are a couple of different ways you can do that. I have donations set up through both PayPal and through Bitcoin. Those links are here on the screen and also in the description below. And lastly, I have a merchandise store set up both through here on YouTube and on my own personal page, WanderBeard.com. And remember, life is short. Wander. Join me next time for my amazing recap of the spectacular country of Belize.